Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hi guys, welcome to my birthday vlog. I'm turning 28 tomorrow, Thursday, March 6th. Today is actually Wednesday, March 5th, and I'm going to the Field Museum where I'm gonna go see an African fashion collection. I paid $10 for the collection. The exhibit is like a private entry sort of thing, but the whole Field Museum in Chicago is free on Wednesdays. So we got a huge discount. So as a girl that loves fashion and is on a budget, this is the best day ever. It's a bit rainy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, we made it. Field Museum. Woo, woo. Africa fashion, here we come. Look at, they got whole signs over there. That's so cute. This is the Field Museum of Natural History, also known as the Field Museum, which is a natural history museum in Chicago, Illinois. It's actually one of the largest museums in the world, and I didn't know what I would see, but as we entered the Stanley Field Hall, we saw so many beautiful little sayings and the Tyrannosaurus. That was a huge surprise. And then these elephants were so big and beautiful and just reminded me of like what used to be, and like got the scale of these beautiful animals that were sadly killed off. But yeah, look at the beauty of this. I did not know dinosaurs were so huge. So we're just kind of taking in the scale and just chilling. A lot of people were just, you know, roaming around, enjoying their day. So it's really just nice to like reflect on prehistoric times and the variety of dinosaur exhibits there. And then we saw animals that were highly preserved, and it just brought a lot of awareness of animals across the continent. It was very beautiful. It felt so real. I felt like they were alive. So I was just like cautiously filming, but they're fake. They're not real. But yeah, I learned so much. This are the bison, and sadly they were killed off by colonial people, which really affected Native Americans that relied on the bison for their livelihood. So very educational, very eye-opening. And we also were able to look at animals from different continents that we probably will never afford to go. And this one was so cute. So cute. Look at it, looks so real. We were just kind of wandering around. There's so many corridors, so many little halls. We came across like whale skeletons and elephant skeletons. It was just very eye-opening to see like how they're built and like how they function and their evolution throughout history. So it reminded me how my environmental work is really important, and I really need to continue to do my activism. And if you haven't started, you should do your own. Oh my god, Africa fashion. Okay, here is the reason why you're watching. So we went here to this exhibit, and it was organized with the Victoria and Albert Museum in London, and it features haute couture and ready-to-wear pieces with more than 180 pieces of work representing artists from over 20 African countries. And this exhibit actually opened February 28th in 2025, and it's actually going to close June 29th, 2025, so you should definitely go. But it took us about like 20 minutes to walk around, to look at the fashion, which included photographs, literature, sketches, music, film, catwalk footage, textiles, and jewelry. So it was so cool seeing how the exhibition started with the period of the liberation movement and then moved to mid-century and then ended with current times. As you can see, there was traditional elements reflected in the garments like brocade, beaded details, and head wraps. So walking around was such a great way to absorb Africa's cultural renaissance and diversity. It also helped me learn about about the continent's political and cultural history, and also to discover African designers shaping global fashion, because a lot of times there's a thought that African fashion isn't really fashion, it's more so like costumes, which is not true. So it was just really amazing to see their clothing and their beauty and their designs and really truly learn from them. There's a lot of educational moments, like learning about fashion designers who broke through and created their path in the industry. So it was really, really great to absorb all that good information when fashion is usually coming from a Western perspective or ideology. Also, if you notice, the mannequins have different skin tones of Black women and men, and there was hairstyles reflective of their culture. So I had never seen that before, but it is really eye-opening how much beauty and resilience and innovation they've brought to the industry. And a lot of the pieces were from sustainable materials. A lot of designers were very eco-conscious. Like this one was made from upcycled denim, and I truly loved this designer. I definitely want to follow them and learn from them on social media, so I'll definitely be looking into their content more. And then just some more traditional wear that I truly respect. The colors are amazing. As you can see, that it's full of talent, full of resilience, full of creativity that we desperately need. And this piece was amazing. It was a piece with a lot of sayings in the back about their resilience, and it was almost like a poem in the back, so you should definitely pause and read this if you would like. But I was starstruck. I was amazed. I was so inspired, and I think that's the goal when we go to these exhibits, is to learn and to absorb and to just be with other cultures or perspectives that you never have, you know, been exposed to. So someone that's always trying to learn about sustainability and open my eyes to what fashion can mean and how it relates to our identity and how I can further improve. Like this little section, politics and poetics of clothing, is just a reminder that fashion is not just fashion. It's so much more deeper and meaningful than we can ever imagine. So China, what are you doing here, huh? Traitor? Come on, get in there. Be a traitor to society. Feel proud coming in here today? Yeah? So after going to the exhibit and grasping everything that I saw from Africa and the designers there, we went to the Chinese exhibit that I had no clue was there, and we were exposed to their 5 galleries and their 350 objects that were on display representing centuries of Chinese culture, including pottery, clothing, jades, bronze, a lot of things from the past that really crafted China. And then we were able to see more nature-related exhibits that were free for the public, and it just reminded me of how much beauty, plants, and ecosystems it takes for the world to function. And I didn't know flowers are so complex, so it was all so incredibly beautiful, and I'm so thankful I was able to go for my birthday and learn about plant dyes and pigments and what it takes from nature to make the things that we wear and love on a daily basis, and how much techniques it took so many generations to improve what we have now. So it reminded me that automation came from our love and understanding of nature ever so more. So here is the rest of the vlog. Okay, we're leaving now. That was so much fun. We didn't really talk within the museum because there was just a lot of people everywhere. But as you can see behind me, they literally have the banners hanging from the Field Museum in Chicago, so people can come to the exhibit. It was really nice. And then I got a book called African's Fashion Dysphoria from their store, and it cost $36. My brother's right here. He had fun. He learned too much about fashion. But now we're gonna walk back to the LaSalle Street station to go back to suburbia life, and it's a 30-minute walk. It's kind of raining, but it's a nice little walk. It's just don't bring Shein secondhand boots to the adventure or your feet are gonna hurt. But we ate good food. My brother paid for the food. But I'm paying back the train ride, so just gotta walk. But it's so beautiful. And it's literally windy. It's the windy city. We're walking and it's raining. I'm so glad this thing is covered by plastic, or else it would be ruined. I was so tempted of opening it when I was eating, but I didn't. So plastic coverings sometimes is beneficial if you're walking in the rain. So cute. So excited to read this. But 20 more minutes in the rain. Yay. Yay. We can walk. Guys, this is capitalism. Why would we ever want to destroy it? Why would we ever need socialism? Look at all those big buildings. The stocks are booming. Grabbing from China, grabbing from Mexico, from Canada. What else could go wrong? Look at shiny buildings for everyone. Who needs socialism? We don't need socialism. No, we don't. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.